Hey everyone, it's Alicia Reese from AliciaDReese.com. Welcome. Once again, I am excited that you're here. Remember, this is the place to be to find information, strategies, and tips on how to move forward in creating the career and life that you love no matter what. Today, what I want to do is talk about a concept that has come up in many of the conversations I've been having as of late, particularly with partners as well as clients. And that's this idea around being at a place where they're at a career crossroad. And you may be there as well. And when you're at a career crossroad, you're in a situation where you don't know whether to stay or to leave. And obviously there could be different scenarios happening that may make you want to stay with an organization. It could be compensation, it could be flexibility. But in the meanwhile, you are dying a slow death where you're terribly unhappy. So what I want to do today is really just share with you a few strategies that could support you if you are in a situation where you feel like you need to make a decision about leaving or staying with your current organization. The first strategy is around really getting clear about the organization as well as your job. I think oftentimes what happens is that you're in a situation where you're unhappy and the organization as well as the job, they start to blend together. And so you may feel like, I'm just unhappy in this place, but you're not very clear about, is it the actual job, meaning the work that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, or is there now a misalignment between the company's values and vision and where I see my vision going in the future or my current values. And so I think it's important to get very clear about really differentiating between those two and determining, again, is it the job or is it the company? One way of doing that is to start to capture via an energy journal. Are you happy doing certain roles and responsibilities? So you could actually track the work that you're doing. And then as you're tracking that work, understand, is there a level of energy, right, or passion that's associated with that work? Or perhaps, looking at the company as an example, pay attention to the company communications that are coming out, how the organization is doing externally within the communities, and see if there's energy that's associated with those activities. And again, you will be able to discern, is it really the job or the company or both? Number two, as you're thinking about being in this crossroad and you make a decision, you know what, it's time for me to leave this company, right? I've discerned that I want to continue to do this type of work or maybe do something different in terms of the work, but I want to do it at a different company. What you want to do is get very clear about a few things. Number one, you want to understand what are the must-haves for that next opportunity, right? So for instance, when I relocated to Atlanta 10 years ago, I knew that I never wanted to leave the city. So a must-have for me was to look for opportunities here. I was not relocatable, right? So as you think about your must-haves, be very intentional about the things that are important to you in that next opportunity. The second area you want to consider, again, if you're wanting to perhaps leave the organization, is what are the nice to haves, right? And so really get clear about the things that would be nice to have in that next opportunity, that next experience, or that next company. For me, a nice to have was to be able to have, a flexible work environment. And while a lot of organizations are moving toward having flexible work environments, it's not a reality for all organizations. So you have to ask yourself, if you found the perfect opportunity in terms of the company, the work, but perhaps they didn't offer you flexible work arrangement, would that be okay with you? All right. So again, that would be a nice to have as an example. And then the last piece in your consideration is to figure out what are your trade-offs, right? And a trade-off could be compensation, it could be flexibility, It could be taking a lateral move as an example. So for me, again, when I relocated back to Atlanta about 10 years ago, I took a stand because I really wanted to live here and I wanted to work for a company that truly was in alignment with my values as well as, the work. And so I took a $10,000 pay cut. But you know what? I was so happy with the company. I was so happy with the work that my energy just went through the roof. And as a result, I was able to produce astounding outcomes where my salary was made whole in less than a year. So sometimes you have to make trade-offs in order to get to where you want to go. And again, to be very happy when you're at that career crossroad. All right. So again, what are your must-haves, your nice-to-haves, as well as what are your trade-offs? And then the last piece is having a plan, right? So once you've kind of discerned, is it the job or the company, you've gone through your must-haves, nice-to-haves, as well as your trade-offs, then it'll be important for you to have a plan. Put a plan in place. And I always say a coach is great to support you along the way in ensuring that the plan is smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, as well as timely, and work your plan. There you have it. Those are 3 things that you can consider if you are in a place where you're at a career crossroad. And as always, I would love to support you along the way. If you have found this video helpful, please feel free to share, like, as well as comment. I love hearing from you always. So until then, next time we talk, I wish you best wishes. Take care, guys.